Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to set up your source control. The first thing you're going to want to do is go to bitbucket.org and create an account. If you already have one, that's great. If not, you're just going to need to jump on here and create one. So just go to sign up and put in your email address. And then we need to give it a name and a password. And I am not a robot, so I'll click the box. Alright, hit continue, and I believe I'm getting a verification email right now. I just need to check that. Let's see, where's my email? Alright, my email came. I'm just going to hit verify. And we're in. So now I'm going to give it my username. Just go ahead and choose your own username there. Hit continue. And we are good to go. So I'm going to create a repository. You won't need to do this. You'll just be cloning the repository and then branching later. But I'm going to show you the steps anyway. So this is going to be called 2D Platformer. Oh, let's just name it Platformer. It's going to be private. And we don't need anything else in here. So I'm just going to hit create. And we're good to go. Here, let's create a README file first. And just commit that. So it's just going to be a blank README file that's in there. This will be the first commit in the project. Great. So with that set up, what I want to do is jump back over to SourceTree. And now in SourceTree, if you haven't set up SourceTree yet, go watch the video on how to set up SourceTree. You're going to want to use this. If you already know Git really well and just want to use the command line, that's fine too. You don't have to use SourceTree, but if you're new to source control or just new to Git, definitely recommend using it. I'm going to be using it for all of the examples going forward. I think it works pretty well and it's pretty easy to get started with. So to set up the repository, I need to click the plus right here on this. You may not even have this at first. The first time you run it, you'll just see an option to create a new repository. So I've clicked plus, and now I have three options here. I can create a new repository, I can add an existing, or I can clone one. I'm just going to hit clone, and I need to paste in the repository URL. So to get that repository URL, I need to jump back over here, and you can see in the top there's a command here that says git clone, and then it's this URL right here. Nice long thing. I'm just going to select that, copy it, and jump back over to SourceTree, then paste it in. So it's Unity3dcollege at bitbucket.org/Unity3dcollege/platformer.git. Your URL will be very similar to this, except this part right here will have a your username instead of mine. So it'll be whatever your name is or whatever your username that you selected. Now it's going to ask me when I click out of there for a path, and it's going to pop up for my password. So I'm going to give it my password. Hit login. And now I need to choose a path. And what I like to do is keep all of my projects in a folder named Git off of the root. Where you keep it doesn't really matter, but it's important that you know where your things are. So make sure that you think about where you're going to put your stuff. Maybe create a new folder for it. Or if you already have a folder for source control stuff, just put it all in there. And then this platformer is just going to be the subfolder. So I'll have in my Git, you'll see there's a whole bunch of repositories, and then there'll be a platformer repository. Now I just need to hit clone. And you'll see it's pulling. I can check this box to see what's going on. There's really not a lot of info there usually. And we're done. So now if I check on this master branch, you'll see here, the first commit is already there. This is that README file that I created when I hit the button in the UI, in the web UI. But we're going to put another file in here just to show how it's done. So now I'm going to show you how to commit a new file in here. You won't need to do this right now, but you're going to want to know how to do it in the future. So let me just show you how it's done. So if I go here to the working copy shows where my changed files are. So anytime you change a file in Unity or just in the folder in general, it's going to show up here as a change. And what I'm going to do is hit open in Explorer to just open up the folder. And you see here, this is my git/platformer folder, c:/git/platformer. And we have the README file that was created. And there's also this .git folder. But if you look really close, you can tell that's kind of grayed out. It's because it's a hidden folder, and I have view hidden folders turned on in Windows. If you don't see that, it's probably fine. You probably just don't have show hidden files enabled. You can toggle that on and off though. Now I'm going to create another file in here. Just go to new file and create a text file. I'm just going to name it welcome. And I'm going to edit it and just put in welcome to the Unity course. There we go. I'll save that off and minimize that. And then we'll watch what happens here. So now you can see, hey, something's changed. There's an unstaged file. And if I click on it, I can even see the contents of that file. What this is showing me is the changes that are in my folder down here under unstaged. And then when I want to commit these files and put them into source control, I can hit stage selected and they'll go to this staged section. Now, the way it works is anything that's in the staged section, when I hit this commit button, will get committed into the repository. So this is putting it into source control. But before I do that, I want to give it a little message so that we can look through all of the commits in the history and see, well, what was in that commit. Was it a change to a character? Was it, a whole new level? Was it just some art getting pulled in? Or in this case, was it just me writing a welcome message? So I'm just going to put in a description here called welcome message, and I'll hit commit. Now what that's done is commit the file locally. So I've made my change, it's there locally, and it's in source control, but it's not pushed to Bitbucket yet. To do that, I need to actually check this push button right here. So if I hit push, you'll see that master is already checked. Master is the main branch that we use. It's kind of the go-to branch, and then we can create other branches later. You'll be doing that just a little bit down the road, creating another branch of your own so that you can commit things locally and then still pull from the master branch later. So I'm going to go ahead and check push. Click push, right? And there we go. Now it's pushed. So I want to explain what you're seeing here real quick. So this first little indicator is showing master. That just means that our local version of the master branch is on this commit. Then there's origin/master. This means that the remote version of the commit, or of the master branch, is also on this commit. And origin/head is just the most recent one on the remote, and it's also on this. So it's just showing that everything matches. All of the servers are at the same level. They all have this as their most recent commit. Let me do one more change just so you can see how that changes. All right, let's add a word here. And then I'll save that, and we should see a change pop up in here now. Oh, something's already happened. If you see here, it says uncommitted changes. It just means that we've made changes locally that aren't committed right now. Now I'm going to click on this file, and you'll see that what's changed here is this line. It used to say welcome to the Unity course. Now it says welcome to the Mastery Unity course, which is actually a typo. So let's go back in and move that over here, save again, and you'll see this actually updates pretty quickly. So now it says the correct thing. Welcome to the Unity Mastery course. Now I'm going to stage this file again, and I'm going to commit it again with another message. So there we go. I hit commit, and I'm not pushing yet because I want to show you the difference here. So if I click on the master branch, you'll see now the local master branch has this commit, but the remote or the origin one has the previous one. So on the previous, we had welcome to the Unity course, and then on the new one we have welcome to the Unity Mastery course. Now when I push, what's going to happen is these two are going to get this change, and then they'll all be lined up again. And that's pretty much it. So now we've pushed, we've set up a repository. The last thing that you'll need to know about is pulling. So to pull, what we do is just click on this little pull button and then hit OK. What's going to happen is it's going to grab the changes from the remote server and bring them down to the master. So you didn't really see anything happen there, but let me do it a little bit different so you do. So what I'm going to do now is check out an existing commit. So if I select a commit and just right click on it, so say I want to go back to the original version of this thing when I was just on the README file and there's nothing else there. Just go in, click commit, and I click clean to discard all changes and hit OK. Now this is going to wipe out anything that you've done locally and bring your entire folder to whichever one this is. But it's not going to delete out anything that you've committed. I mean, it will temporarily delete it from your working copy, so you won't see it there, but you can always get back to it. And that's what I'm going to show you next. So now if I go back into this folder, right, you'll see, oh, look, the welcome file is gone, but the README file is still here. Right, and if I look in here, you can see that head, which is where our current version of the project is way down here on this first commit. Our local master branch still has this, but we're not in the master branch anymore. We're disconnected from it. And we can actually just go through now and pull another branch, or we can just pull a different commit. So what I'm going to do is check out this commit, which just has the welcome message. And again, I'll just hit clean and discard all changes. And now you see we have a welcome.txt file again, which has the welcome to Unity course. Now the last thing I'm going to do is just hit pull. So if I hit pull, what's going to happen is it's going to grab everything down and then bring us up to the latest branch. So I'm going to pick remote branch master, hit OK. And there we go. Now we are on the latest. So you might be wondering kind of why this is helpful and, you know, like what the hell does this have to do with anything? The important part here is that we now have kind of undo points or backups, you know, a way to get to a specific version of the project at a specific point. So as I'm going through things and teaching these lessons, if you kind of want to catch up, like you missed a day and you're not going to be able to do the work yourself and you want to catch up, you'll be able to just go in, switch to the master branch and hit pull, and you'll get the latest. You'll be all caught up in the project at least. You'll still probably want to go through the lessons, but if you're having a hard time, you know, you're just busy that day or something else and you just can't do the coding part of it, you can always pull it. The other thing you can do is if you're working in your project and you run into an issue, like maybe something dies, something crashes, you totally break everything because you accidentally did something wrong. As long as you've committed, you'll be able to just go back and check out whatever you have committed. It's kind of like a permanent undo or restore point that you can get to with your project and not have to worry about, you know, did I destroy things? Or it also makes it so you're not afraid to experiment. Just if you're going to do something experimental, just commit first. Commit and then play around, and you can always go back. You don't have to worry about a thing. So I think this is kind of the basics of Git. Like I said, if you're new to source control or just new to software in general, it could be a little bit confusing, but I'm here to help. So if you have any questions with this stuff, please feel free to just reach out, send me an email or ask in the Q&A, and I'll try to make sure that it's as easy as possible for you to get caught up.